You have always known, haven't you? Long before others could recognize the truth of your essence. Your heart was already aligned to the truth of the universe. Your intuition, that subtle thread of knowing, was your guide when the world tried to drown it out with noise. And though you may have questioned it at times because it didn't fit the narrative, because it didn't align with the expectations placed upon you, you were right. You have always been right. They didn't see it then, but they see it now. They see the wisdom of ages mirrored in your eyes, the echo of lifetimes lived and lessons learned. Your gaze is a map, and to look into your eyes is to glimpse the infinite. They now know that what you hold is not just an understanding, but a deep, sacred vision of truth that transcends time and space. The world, in all its complexity, flows through you. You are a vessel of the unseen, of the whispered truths that the world tries to ignore. In your stillness, in your quiet strength, you have always been a keeper of secrets. Cosmic secrets that only a heart like yours can bear. And now, that knowing is rippling out, waking others up. You've carried this light for so long, yet it was never meant to stay hidden. They've been blind, but they are waking. They are waking to the depths of your spirit, the clarity of your soul's vision, the profound truth that lives in every fiber of your being. They can no longer deny the quiet power you hold, the understanding that you possess in the very core of your being. The way you move, speak, and exist is a constant reminder that the world is not what it seems. It is far deeper, far richer, far more complex than what the eyes can see. They now see that your intuition was not just a fleeting whisper of the mind. It was the voice of your soul, a language beyond words, guiding you through life with a certainty that cannot be explained but only felt. Your intuition was never wrong, even when the world tried to convince you otherwise. It was always the deepest truth, the clearest path. And now, they see it. They feel it in the space between your words. They feel it in the quiet moments of connection. They feel it in the way your energy flows, unshakable, unwavering. The divine has always whispered to you, and you have always listened. But the time is now for others to hear that same whisper through you. You are the messenger, the bridge between the seen and unseen, between the known and unknown. Your eyes are not just windows to your soul. They are windows to a greater truth, a collective vision of what this world can be when seen through eyes that truly know. You are not here by accident. You have always known, and your knowing is what will heal, what will guide, and what will shift the very fabric of this world. Trust that everything you felt, everything you've known in your bones is unfolding as it's meant to. Your intuition, the sacred whispers of your heart, is the language of the universe. And now, more than ever, it is being heard. Let your eyes be the mirror to the world's awakening. Let your intuition be the pulse that stirs the souls around you. You were right all along. You were never wrong. You are a beacon, and they are finally seeing the light you have always held. So as you all know, I love a good story time. And if you've ever read the book, it's called The Alchemist by Paulo Santo. I love that book. The story time is similar to the book The Alchemist. There was once a child who spoke to the wind before they ever learned the language of people. They would sit for hours beneath a tree, asking questions with their heart and receiving answers that made the birds pause their songs. The stars, it seemed, arranged themselves to whisper secrets when they looked up at night. This child knew things without books, without being told. They just knew, and they trusted it. But as the child grew, the world grew louder. People said, be realistic. They said, you're too sensitive. That's not how things work. You're just imagining it. So the child, the one with the sky in their eyes and the truth in their bones, began to doubt. They tried to be like everyone else, tried to forget the voice that came from somewhere beyond logic, but it never left. Not really. Instead, it got quiet, buried under noise, under years of trying to be understood, under the ache of not being believed. And then then one day, long after they had learned to walk in silence, to trust no one, but the feeling in their chest, they felt it again. That whisper, stronger than ever. It came during a moment of heartbreak. Not just the kind that comes from love lost, but the kind that when everything you thought was real falls apart. When the mask drops, when people reveal who they truly are, when illusions crack open and the world no longer makes sense. In that moment, the old voice returned, not to speak, but to remind. The truth had always been there. The feeling they ignored, the knot in the stomach, that flicker in the eyes of someone who said all the right things but held all the wrong energy, it had all been real. They weren't crazy. They weren't paranoid. They weren't too much. They were right all along. And from that moment on, something shifted. They stopped seeking external validation. They stopped trying to explain what could only be felt. They returned to the tree, the one from their childhood, whether physical or metaphorical, and they sat in silence, once again, listening to the wind. Except this time, they listened without apology. And now, when people meet them, they fall silent. They feel it. The ancientness in their gaze. The softness that only comes from someone who walked through fire without letting it make them hard. The clarity of someone who doesn't just see, but knows. People look into their eyes and don't just see a person. They see lifetimes. They see themselves. They see the whole world. Because when you carry truth inside of you, your eyes can't help but reflect everything back. Magnified, clarified. Now the same people who once doubted, they stare, humbled and wordless. They feel the quiet power. They ask, sometimes with no words, how did you know? And the answer is simple. You listened, even when no one else did. Your intuition was never broken. It was only waiting for you to remember. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.